Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's always good to be here and structures and all of that. And when you understand structure, the way and what it's all about, you will feel calmer dealing with this market. And I want to present something to us that would also help. Um, you cannot try to force the structure. If you stick to the basic of what you know in terms of what you expect from the structure, you will not miss your route. When the structure is not aligning, then it is not aligning. There are things that market will do when you understand that if the market has been, falling hard and they want to change the structure, or they want to change the direction of the trend, or they want to do a big correction, there is a usual way or pattern the market will follow. You will not miss road. You will not miss road. Inside of 1 hour of Euro USD, we had been selling, and this was the last sell before we had this reaction. And though you saw this as a sharp reaction to the upside, market will not just change direction and begin to count wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as if, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's as if it's all about counting wave and see. It is what you want to see that you will see. What you want to see, you will always see, but not what the market is giving you. You keep all the knowledge inside of you, and to find out what is unfolding in front of you, that what structure am I looking at? What is it looking like? And all the indicators, they are usually lagging. So I don't use indicator because I deal with a real life structure, which means that the structure that is playing out tells me more, even before indicator reflects what is happening. The structure that is unfolding tells me more, and I anticipate a move based on the structure that I'm seeing. And when you understand what the higher time frame is telling you, or the cycle is telling you, then you can begin now to dig into the substructure or the micro or the least or the smallest time frame to look at if the structure is, aligning or not, and what is telling you. Now, we add this move to the upside. I'm going to show us a trick also of trying to confirm what we are seeing. And I've said that we were looking for a sell from this level, and that the fourth wave to the downside shouldn't have passed this level. And even though I told us with what I knew that between a particular level of 100 and 161.8, which was air, price should react. If price pierces this structure, 161.8 to the upside here, then something has changed. Then it began as if this one looks like what with 1 and with 2 situation. Even on the lower time frame of 1 hour, this does not look like wave 5 to me, because wave 5 does not behave like this because the movement was so sharp. Then this one came down. Yes, it could mean wave 2, but looking at the field retracement also was playing like a wave 2. And of course, this one went up. What we got here looked more like an ending diagonal, really, which would have said, okay, maybe price is going to return from here. Now, whatever it looks like, also, we try to look at what the daily candle to confirm. And that was why I said, between Monday and Tuesday, let's look at the candle that it gives us before we say, okay, maybe we're in the right direction or not. But no matter what, if anybody could hold, 161.8 is where I expect a reaction, because price will not just break up 161.8 of this whole extension. If that happens beyond 161.8, then it cannot be a B wave, then it cannot be anything but a new impulse, which I doubt if that would happen. Now, we are fixated thinking that the fourth wave should stop here, and the fifth, which is the last wave, should run from here. We were fixated. But one thing again is that, what if we had counted our wave from upside slightly a bit wrong, and that this is not the fourth wave, and this is where the fourth wave would have ended, and now that we are in the fifth wave? Even though I was expecting that something is changing here, that we could be doing a wave one situation, and this one could be a wave four here, and that we are going to probably extend a little higher to do a wave five. I dropped again in my notes on Friday or Thursday that the way this one came down was rather like an impulsive on a lower time frame, that is giving me an headache, that price may not break up, this may have ended, and so this is what we have. Now, no matter what you have now in your coming to the downside, you must also try to follow the structure. And seeing that this way played out like a wave one, and this played out like a wave two situation, I think I had a discussion with somebody also on the up, that before you can see this wave say, oh, I'm going to return to the upside or do anything, then it has to be at least a three-wave format, which is one, a two, and a three-wave, where that three-wave should not stall before 100% extension, or mostly 161.8 or so, yeah, 161.8, and here is 161.8. I was telling the person that he's not going to break up until he does 100 or 161.8, and this is 161.8. Now, at this 161.8, what again you begin to tell yourself is that I need to see reaction here before I say this thing is ending its wave. The fact that at this level, if this had to be a wave one and a wave two, and correct, so this one as a wave three, which could be correct, then you must have a wave four once this trend line had been broken, because you must know, I've thought about that when you pick a structure to a structure, between a wave one, if we say this one is a wave one and this one is a wave two here, situation here, then if you connect, I don't even expect trend to have broken a wave one and a wave two normally, because a wave three of it will rather be in an impulse that shoots more higher than this, such that the wave will not even come near the trend line formed by one and two. And the only time that the thing will now come close to it is after wave three had been completed and wave four is coming down and is going to break slightly or touch it to do a wave five. But my suspicion had been right all along that something was wrong here for this to have crossed at this level, even though wave three seems to have been completed here. But looking at this wave three, this supposedly wave three, the way it went like this, and the way this one wave one went, this one is rather sharp. We expect wave three to be as sharp as this, even if not more. This one traveled in a straight line, And the way everything now ended up here tells me is more of a correction. So when you look at the 4-hour time frame and day time frame, you will see it as a correction. Now, with this new wave that is coming down, where are we going to go to? It may interest you to know that we may actually now be doing a wave 5 that we were expecting. That is wave 5 of 3 that we're expecting. If that is a wave 5 of 3, then something is wrong with our count completely. Now, let me quickly switch inside 4 hour for you to see what I'm saying. Now, inside of 4 hour, we have said that from here to here is wave 1, and this is wave 2, and that this is wave 3, and we expected wave 4 here. Because we said this one is wave what? Wave 2. What if this one is not wave 2? And our wave 2 is actually up here. So because we were thinking, and that is what, how structure can play a bit on us, because when we don't know, this one, what if this one is not a wave 2, and this is actually a wave 2 up here? So if that is the case, that this is not a wave 2, what we have said is that we thought this one was a wave 2, and that the price is going to come down here. And unfortunately, we were wrong, a little wrong, because this is 50. We were expecting that price will not do more than this, and price had broken what? A 61.8, which is quite unusual. And it looks as if, what kind of correction are we doing? So what if wave 2 is not here, but it is here? So if wave 2 actually is now here, now we now see that something is actually wrong with our count. So I'm going to do something for us to see what we are trying to do here. So that we understand what I'm trying to say. Now, what is changing? It's where we thought the structure, had formed, and that it is not playing like that. Because at the end of the day, this that we term as a 3-4 situation here may actually mean that instead of having this as our wave 1, this may actually be our wave 1. This may actually be our wave 1 instead of this one to be our wave 1. So coming from here down to this place may actually be our wave 1. And this may still be our wave 3. In that case, this that we term as wave 2 would actually be something that is more maybe upside. Or something like this. Let me go inside the daily structure. So something has changed a bit in the way the count has been. So we are going to look into that, what had changed. Let me allow this thing load. Actually, I was looking at DXY and I saw some things inside of DXY. Please, you allow me to go quickly into the DXY. So allow me quickly to go inside of DXY. I was studying DXY to see what exactly was going on. So we try to clone what I saw inside the DXY. Now, with what I saw inside of DXY, I saw that the move that started from 31st of May as where wave one started from, and wave one ended, so 14th of July. From 31st of May to 14th of July, and wave two at August 11th. So where it ended, August 11th. So we're going to look at this level on the Euro USD. August 11th, 14th of July, and the move from 30th of May. So let's go inside Euro USD. So we're going to look for 30th of May. So 30th of May, 30th of May. Okay, actually 30th of May is actually here. So which means here. And 30th of May to 14th of July. Where is 14th of July? No. 30th of May. This is pretty much like 30th of May here. So which is correct here. And 14th of July is this, which is with one, okay. And 11th of August, which is with two. So it's still correct. So two comes in here in that sense. With two comes in here in that sense. Now, so we might be inside of with three. That is just what I saw, and I felt that is what is playing out as far as I'm concerned. But I will still show us the reason why I thought that way. And if we look at what DXY gave us, I'm making reference to DXY now. What DXY gave us. Pardon this thing, the way it's loading. So DXY is going to help in analyzing this wave. Now, looking at the DXY from where I said one from this blue here, then it started from 4 here. So if we look at it to see what we're going to get in terms of fib retracement to a 1 is actually a little, this is 50 and this is almost at 61, which still is perfect for it. It's perfect for it. Yeah, it's perfect for it as a 1 and a 2 situation, and this is a 3 situation. Now, because it's an ending structure, you know, we are going to see the way this one is going to move. If it's a 3 situation. So if it's a 3 situation, what we are saying is that, and this is the 4th wave of this 3. So this now might be going up to finish a wave 5. And in that case, it may break it or not. So this has not finished. So this one looks like inside of 1 of 3 and sorry, yes, 1 of 3 and a 2 of 3 situation that we discussed that time. And this might be a 3 of 3, a 4 of 3, and we're now going to finish a 5 of 3. So once we finish that 5, we might be running a bigger correction to the downside. You know, that is what. So if you look at this one on the DXY, it's this 2 that we've now talked about. So we're going to now see how this one has played out from this level up to this level for the DXY. And that's exactly just below before we got to 50. 50 is above this, 50 is on the red, and just before 50, we add this correction if this has become our 2. And I will tell you other things that I use to confirm my suspicion. So if we go back inside of Euro USD, because it's all about, at the end of the day, is how you count your structure and what we are seeing unfolding. If you go back, switch back to Euro USD, just nothing much has really changed, but it's just what we are looking at now. The slight changes to the structure, the movement and all of that is still the same, but the slight change to the structure, you know, might change the whole thing. And that is what I'm saying now. So if I push this one a bit up now, so that is what it looks like at the end of the day. Euro USD may have pushed slightly, you know, too low than what we are seeing on the DXY. But let's see, from here to this level, in terms of a pullback, yes, it's really at 50, which still agrees with it. So the 2 is at 50, which still agrees with it. But on the DXY, it's almost touching, you know, 161.8. So it still agrees with 2. So the mischief maker may have done that for us to make now this one a 1 and a 2, and that we're inside of a 3. So, and this might just be a 4, the 4th week. Now the DXY is showing us something that is interesting. That is what I'm saying. Now we are now coming to the downside to finish this 4th wave. So instead of looking at our ending structure right from here, of course, it's going to be from a 2 to a 4, and from the dip of a 1 to what a 5 will give us before we say, okay, we are finishing this wave completely. And it's now when we now break this structure to the upside, it has given us something now to do. Once we break this structure to the upside, we now know that either we are doing a bigger correction or something else. So let me now go, permit me to take this on a new, not here. Let me change to another instrument so that you can see clearly what I'm going to bring out. Can I use this? Yes. So let me now use this. So with what I've shown us now, the first thing I want to use, the first two. Let me use IBC. I think I'd work instead of this. IBC. So with this now, it now means that this is our one. This is our one of the ending structure now. Let me use that. One. Or two. Or three. Or four. And our five. Before we finish that ending structure, then after that we are going to go for a big four. And our five. So our one now change by pulling deep here to be our one, which actually started from this level as our one. Start from that level as our one. Of course, this thing has not been broken, really. This has to be broken now. So that trend has to be broken. So still our one. This from here to here is our one. And you can now say that our two is now at this level. That is our two. Now, if that is our two, with this correction is in line with this big two now, not in line with the inside of this one, because this is like a 3-1 and a 3-2 and a 3-3 now. So if you take this one as a 3-3-2 and a 3-1 situation, it had broken that. So we have done a big four of this correction. That is what it's saying. Because if you look at this, if this is now is a 3-1 situation and a 3-2 situation, so if you pick it from here to this level, now it has wasted this is a bit over 61.8. So this is not a 3-2 now. So it's not a 3-2, which means that this thing had finished a 3 here. So we can now say that this is a 3. And this is a 4, which has changed slightly. Let me use another color for that, being a 4. So that is where we are starting our 4. That is where we are starting our 4. So according to DXY, so that is where we are starting our 4. So it's just a slight change from making this 2 and making this one a 2. That is what has changed. And I will tell you why I said it now looks more configured like this, and where we're going to have a 5. We're going to run this 5 now in 5 wave. We're going to run this in 5 wave. It may pierce this a little, or it may get truncated at this level, but we'll see. Now, so that's just the slight reaction that we are seeing at that level. So that makes it a bit different. But the DXY, it still is is still the thing guiding us. Now, looking at this now, let me bring out the RSI. What do we expect from the RSI normally at the level of 3? And what a 3 is, what a 4th wave is, what a 5 wave is. You know, when you are at a 3, the 3rd wave usually on the RSI is the highest. Then the 5th wave usually will show you a momentum divergence. That is what we know of RSI. So RSI is what can come to actually clarify what I'm trying to label here for us. If I switch to the higher time frame now, all right, okay, before I do that, let me now pick that this is like now the 3. When we said the former 3 of a particular wave before, we now have this with 5. So with 5 is what I'm labeling here with 5. With 5, because this is with 5 now. With 5, 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4. Then we're going to do a 5 5 to finish that. That's what I'm saying. So this may now just be a wave 1, okay, maybe a wave 3, let me use that word, a wave 3, and a wave 4 of a particular structure that has ended. 4. So this will just be a wave 1, sorry, a wave 3 of that 3, and a wave 4 of that 3, which ended this. And before we have a wave 1 starting from here. So this is also an ending diagonal in itself, this one, an ending diagonal, and it looks correct too as an ending diagonal. Before we now have a wave 4, then we now started. So 3 had ended here. We now began a wave 5 of this ended structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do a 5. So now let me now post inside a weekly. I just discovered this, and I wanted to see what I discovered. Let it load. Now, this on the weekly now. This on the weekly. This on the weekly time frame. This on the weekly time frame. Let me bring out RSI. Now, this is an RSI. This is an RSI. And this one will help us to know where a 3 is or not. Watch that at this level here is the highest here. At this level, you can see at the level here is the highest, which is here. At the level here is the highest in the RSI. And at this level here, even though the price sailed higher up, is the lowest. This is what I'm talking about. Between here and here. This is weekly time frame. So you can see that momentum divergence here on the RSI. This is weekly time frame, and this is like what I've been showing us, that when I said this one is like a 3, a 4, and that we are inside of a new one, which is this one, and a 2, and a 3. Before we probably are going to do a 5. This is what I've been showing us. So if this one is like here, for this particular structure here, you can see that at this level is the 3rd wave here. It coincides with the 3rd wave, which is the highest. but the RSI at the 5 looks like it has fallen, which is an ending diagonal, even though it has pushed up. So it's an ending diagonal here that makes this one a 3 and a 5 situation here. And finishing this wave of a 3 and a 5 situation, then of this particular structure, we're now beginning to come down. We saw this as a wave. Wave 4 in this regard. And this is 3 of it and a 4 of it. Before we say, okay, this is like a 1 wave situation and a 2 wave situation. So, but I don't even need all of this. I just use this to show you. I want to concentrate here. We are concentrating here. Now, so if you now move to this section, let me show you the section that we want to move to. This is the section we are more interested in. This area is where our interest is. So if we now move to that area, we add a 1 and a 2 situation here. So you can see also here, this is wave 1. This is the highest of this wave 1. And we now have a 5, which is also an ending diagonal here before we came down. So this would always help us to mark the ending diagonal situation at any given point in time. This is on the weekly time frame. Okay, that's on the weekly time frame. So this is another ending diagonal situation here that you can see to confirm when you are counting with. It won't be apparent almost immediately on a higher time frame, but when you are now counting with, it will help. So I'm letting you into some secrets here. Let me now begin to expand this. Now, expanding this, coming inside of here, where we are now. Coming inside of here, where we are now, I'm going to do something for us. At this level, where we are dealing with a 3 situation, this is where a 3 situation is at this level. Here, and pretty much so, we are going to be seeing that also at this level here. And will you give me? Good. Yeah, good. So it's giving me also there. That's a 3 situation. This is weekly now. This is weekly now. And this is like a 3 with 3 has ended here. And this is a 4 situation. Look where we are, even though this is a 3 and we had gone to finish the inside of 5, the wave had not gone below this 3. This clearly is telling me a 3, a 4, and a 5 situation. So because that is a momentum divergence there. And this momentum divergence is to the upside. So if we pick from this level, this way, that is clearly a divergence on the weekly. How do you know? Because if you want to know where this line should be, this is the way, oh, sorry, I'm going to take this out. Now, this is the way it ought to look. Yeah, that is more horizontal. So that is more horizontal. So you can see a clear divergence to the upside because this one is more horizontal. See where the price is. So it's pushing its head up. So there is a momentum divergence, even though we have gone much lower on the weekly. Okay, we have gone much lower on the weekly, but there is a momentum divergence to the upside, which means that this thing is coming to an end. That trend is coming to an end. So we might not do lower than this. This is on the weekly. It's very, very obvious. So the day we will know that we are done here is when you have a break to the upside from here. From this level, once we have a break to the upside on the RSI, once we have a break to the upside from the RSI, we know once you check your weekly and you have a break out of here from the RSI, that means we have changed the direction. So the weekly will tell us, and we'll be keeping this one on IDC for some time, this analysis today. Now, if I now switch to the daily, so now one thing you must know is that once I switch to daily, there might be a breach of these levels. But on the weekly, it will still out. So I will be using different colors when I get to the weekly because there might be some breach, a crossing of these lines. But on the weekly, it is like this. So the daily might pierce and push, but the daily will be another thing that we can use really. The daily and the 4 hour will be the last one. On the 1 hour, it is where you don't want to go on the RSI because it will be too small for us. Now, still with this, we're now on the daily time frame. Still on the daily time frame, you can see that it's still there. So the daily is still almost aligned with the weekly. So you can see this is the weekly here. The weekly is the purple, which are left almost aligning here. So you can see the divergence is still there. It's still a bit apparent on the daily that we are seeing a divergence. So you can see, I want to believe, but when you now see the uptrend that we saw before on the weekly, it has been broken. You can see this one has been taken. So it won't be apparent on the daily. So to now help you for the daily, we start from here. So we're going to see what the daily is going to give us. I might just be changing. So also to the upside here, you can see what the daily is giving us. So I might change that for the daily. Let me change it to a blue here. Now changing it to a blue here for the daily tells us that gradually we are coming up. Gradually we are coming up. So by the time you look at the RSI on the daily, and this one also is broken to the upside on the daily, it tells you that now we are changing direction. So we have seen the limit of the RSI on the weekly. We have come up to the daily to see that if you want to use this on the daily, it won't work for you. If I go inside of the weekly from here, this one is going to pull far, far above. Let's see. So that is why you have to look at all these things from different perspectives or different time frames so you can see. So you can see where it is on the daily here. So the weekly are giving this, which is obvious. The daily it's a bit up here. So you can know if I want to do something here, I can use this as the weekly, which is week, and that is yellow. That is yellow. And the other one, which is a D, so that is daily. can keep that for you. And we're still going to go inside the 4 hour. So this is daily. You can use that as the daily. So I'm showing us something that you won't see anybody teaching you this. For us to also align the structure. So this is the weekly and this is the daily. So we are trying to align the structure. And of course, you know also that this is where once we break this level, okay, let me do something else, because that will be the first sign that we want to break. That will be the first sign that we want to break. And let me do this here. So we need to break that, okay? So then let me now use this here, because to show you the divergence to the upside here from this point. So that is, I want to get the angle right. Okay, that is the horizontal. That is the horizontal line. That is the horizontal line. So once we break above here, then we are done. So nobody should say, oh, something is coming down. So once you break this one on the daily, once you break this early indication that we are up already, direction has been changed. And when you break this one to the upside, forget it. We are not coming down. Now, at the same time, let me tell you, on the 4 hourly, there will still be a breach of all these things I'm analyzing. But on the daily, we now know that we are approaching here to break this. We had broken it on the weekly to the upside according to the daily. So which means that the dollar is losing its steam. That is what we are saying. The dollar is losing its steam because there's a divergence to the upside from the weekly here, from the base. And this is the uppermost of the weekly have been broken, but the daily is still standing. The limit of the daily also represents the limit of the weekly, which is standing. So it means that no how, this breach will not be breached. This limit will not be breached in the RSI. By the time I switch to the 4 hourly, you might see it cross to the downside. I don't know what it's going to give me, but not. But we know from the weekly and the daily that this limit, they have lost momentum. The dollar has lost momentum to the downside. That's what we are trying to establish here. And the price totally is warming up. So this is an ending diagonal situation. That is what you'll see. Now, mark you, this is what? The 5, and the 3. Now, I told you that this one also looks like an ending diagonal for 3, and it has proven itself that it's an ending diagonal. Look at here, at this level of 3, 3, 4, 8, so 3, 3, 3, 4, and a 3, 5. Look at it, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, a 3, 5. So at the level of a 3, 3, look, we add the lowest in terms of the RSI. Even on the daily, at this level here, we had the lowest move here. And at the 5th, we had it going up, which is a clear divergence. I need to show you all these moves. I need to show you all that moves. You can see it also there, that this is at 3 here, which falls here. And the 4th went up, which is the 4th wave here. And this is the last wave, which is the 5th wave. It came up. That tells you this is actually correct for what? A 3. And the 4th wave is up here. You can see the way it raised up, though the movement is small, but it raised up. These are immediate reactions you begin to see at this level before we change direction. So our counting might just be a bit off, but we can fine tune our counting to see what the wave and the price is doing. So we are done with this. We have completed that. We are sure that this is now a 3 and a 4. Now, this was as a 1. So look at what has happened here. For inside of this one now came out as the first of the ending diagonal, which is the 1. So the first of the ending diagonal didn't even break below 3 here. The 3 is here. As low as that 3 is, the ending diagonal, which has pushed below this level, didn't even break. That's level, the first level of 5, didn't break it. And again, 2 looks big with this wave. Now everything is now playing closely to each other. Everything is playing closely to each other. So this is 1 here, the 1 situation here, the first wave of this one, the second wave of this one, the third wave of this one, the fourth wave of this one, and the fifth wave of this one to end here. Look at it again. The first wave, the second wave, the third wave, the fourth wave, and the last wave of the one. And these 2 also did a 3 wave. So the first wave, the second wave, and it ended 2. Now, this, the 2 has ended. So the 3 is more deep here. Looking at the 3 here, the 3 here is now very deep. The 3 here is now very deep. So even we add at this level a 3, 1. So this is like a 3 instead of this 3. Now a 3, 1 situation and a 3, 2 situation. Sorry, a 3. Okay, I said this is 1 is a 3, 1. Of course, this 3, 1 will have 1 of 1, 1 of 2. This is 1, 3, 1. Inside of it, the fourth and the fifth of it. So this is the third of it, which is lower than the fifth of it, which is a bit up. I want you to see that as well. There's a divergence here also. I hope I'm helping you to see what is obscured and what is hiding from most people. I hope I'm helping you to see, even though it's now becoming congested. Let me see. Even though it's now becoming congested. So this is a 1 situation of a 3. Because we are done with this one, I've shown you this and the 2 of it. Now, inside of this 3, the 3, 3, 1 situation and a 3, 2 situation. So for this 3, 1 to even finish, it has to do the 5th and the 4th and its 5th wave. So its 5th wave here, because this level follow it down, you can see is with 5. There's a divergence to the upside. Even though it went lower, there's a divergence to the upside, and this is the limit. So you can't use on your trading platform, you can't use the 3 of it to pick your low. You really have to, but the RSI will tell you the momentum is pointing out. So, and that is a clear sign that we are going to the upside. So, and that's the level here. And now we did 2. 2 of course, of that incident structure also broke to the upside. Now, this is a situation of a 3 now, which it's looking like the last wave that we're about doing on this 3. Now, so we have finished the inside of a 3, 1 and a 3, 2, and this is a 3, 3. And we said, now, looking at this, we've not had a 5 here. We've not had a 5 here. So if this is a 3 situation, we have not had a 5 here. So what we are going to see at the end of the day, that this one is selling now, is going to also give us a divergence to finish that 5. So it should be giving us something like a divergence like that, something like this. If I could find the angle of divergence for all these other ones, I may be able to find the angles for it, but that is beyond the scope of this training now. So maybe we can have a divergence, something similar like this. So maybe we now have a 5 touching here, where this one will be the lowest. So the lowest on the RSI is what we're going to get here. And I will see that we will see that this will probably break the low again, but the divergence will be on this one. So, and that tells us we have finished this particular way to the upside, and we are going to now break. So this is the last leg that we are seeing. So what I'm saying is that it's most likely that we will be breaking the limit of this low or not. But from what I'm expecting, we will break low once more before we, and once we break that low, once we pick that low, that is the level you can pick and begin to buy. So that is what is obvious here. Now that is inside of the daily. I believe I've helped us in changing the nomenclature here to 3 and a 4 situation. First, we said this one was a 3, and now we can see that it is not really a 3 and a 4 there. So we missed our counting, we missed our counting, but now it aligned more properly to see that we have analyzed this with the RSI to know that these and these are divergence of a 3, 4 situation here. So this is where 3 is the divergence there, and this is where his own 3, 4 is clearly, and that is perfect and beautiful, a 4. And inside of a 5, we are of this one also, we are seeing a clear divergence also. And though it's very short, this is 5, 1, 5. You can see that this one here is a bit low, and this one is a bit up here to finish this one completely. And also it's also correct for that. And a 2, and inside of here also demonstrated that one, the 3 here, which is here, and a 4 of it and a 5 of it, a divergence, which is where we have a 5 of this internal structure of 3, 1, and 3, 1, yeah, it's 3, 1, 3, and 3, 1, 4, and 3, 1, 5, the divergence there. And we're now doing this 4, this 3. So the third wave had gone below it, which is expected because it's going to go below this one, and which is expected here. And we are seeing a 4, which is the last 4, has gone up in 3 waves also, which is 1, a 2, and a 3. And so we're going to see this one clearly crossing this yellow to the downside again, and to do the 5th wave, which will break the low, but will show us a divergence on the daily, and we move up. Now, let's now break this down and go inside of the 4-hour. Now, inside of the 4-hour, so you can see how it has changed inside of the 4-hour, because all those things you will not see again, because the divergence, has breached all those lines. That was what I'm telling you, because you look at all these things from different time frames to see. So when you see the purple, which is below here, had been breached here, you can see, and the low of the yellow here on the weekly also, which is the divergence, has been breached. So the daily and the weekly had given us what we wanted to see. But now, looking at the 4-hour candle, so those ones can, and that's why they say the lower the time frame, the more they shout. But at the same time, we are still going to see how we are going to make use of these 4-hour, and that is the last one we are going to use to navigate. So I'm still going to use that. I'm still going to use that and to see. So this is where we started from, and the 3 here, and this one is the low here. So now you can see on the 4-hour, they are even eating lower of the RSI here. You can see they are eating lower. So you should expect something like that on the lower time frame here on the 4-hour. It might be eating lower or very close to you. That means it might be breaking. Fortunately for us, the divergence here, even though it's broken. So the divergence is up here. It broke this one and brought it to this side, for that 3, and this is the 5 of it is 3, and the 4 and the 5 of it. So you have to look at that. So we broke it on the and push it a bit down on the 4 hour. So now from here to here on the daily on the 4 hour now. So from here to here, the level that we now have to break will now look like this. I'm going to change that color. So look at it. Look at it. I'm going to change that color. So let me change it to this blue. Yeah. So that blue for the 4 hour. So we now know that that is the limit that we now have to break completely. That is the limit we have to break completely on the 4 hour. So now looking at this, the RSI for the 3, even though this has been the upper limit, so they are knocking the door to break. So it has been like a resistance. Even the low here has been like a resistance. You can see price has been knocking to break. The first time you will see a break out of here on the 4 hourly, then forget, we are done. Of course, you have to first confirm the daily and the weekly. The weekly has shown us a break anyway on the daily. So we are gradually warming up to breaking all of these. So it has formed a ceiling for how many weeks now? Since May, it has formed a ceiling and they've been knocking. They've knocked the first, the second, and this is the third time. And once this one is done, we should be seeing a momentum, sharp momentum from the upside to even break it on the 4 hourly. So once that is taken, so the RSI here is at 74. You know, once you have a 75 broken on here on this on the 4 hourly, forget it. We are not coming down again. So that will signal the end of that maybe trend or direction that we're going to do a bigger direction, whatever it's going to be. So that is where we are at the moment. In terms of the correction, like this is for 3, so it still forms the same way. And this is 3 of this one, so it's lower. And the 3 that is lower here in terms of pips, it's upper floating here. Then the 4, then we are inside of this one again. And the 1 of it, you can see the 1 of it is one of the 1, 2, 3 is here, a 4 and a 5 here. So you can see a 3 of that 1 and a 5 of it. Even the 1 of it had gone more sharply. You can see here the 1 of it, 1 of 5, 1 of 1, that's 1 of 1. You have 1 of 1 and a 2 of 1 and a 3 of 1 and a 4 and a 5 of it here. So a divergence here to finish that. And with 2, the peak here also concerning with peak here, a lot of momentum even here. You can see a lot of momentum to the upside, even though in terms of peak it's a bit off. So you can see all of that. Then inside of here also is reflected. Inside of here is also reflected in terms of the 3-1 and 3-1 and 5 situation before we have these 2. And then you can see it that at this point is where we had a 3, you know, 1 of 3 here and a 5 of 3 here, which is concerning with this. You can see a divergence. Even though it pushed a bit lower, a divergence here, 1 of and 3, 5 of it, the 4 and the 5 of it to finish that one. Then we have a 2 of this, which is up here. Of course, rightfully so, it didn't get to the tip of it, but very close to it. In terms of peak, very far from it, but in terms of the RSI, very close to the height here and this one. Then we went low to do a 3rd wave here, which we have not done a 5 of it. So you can see that this is the lowest that's given us in terms of, can you see the lowest here? It has given us in terms of RSI. So we are about seeing the 4th wave had gone up. This is the 4th of it. And we are now seeing a 5th wave coming down to do a shallow. So it's going to give us a momentum divergence So in terms of the momentum divergence for that, also, we might be getting something like this. We might be getting something like this in terms of divergence. We might be getting something like this in terms of divergence. So I don't know what is going to give us. I don't know. So we might be getting something like that in terms of divergence before on the 4 hour. So I think it's going to break this blue here towards this area to finish that fight and we turn off completely. So that is what we are seeing. Another way we can guide our movement is also to take them section by section, because that also would help us to take this section by section to see what when one wave had finished itself and we are going into another wave. So and this is how to take it section by section. So when you see the move here between the lowest here and this one here, and you can see a break to the upside, means that that section of the wave has ended, for this particular one, from here, which is a 3, and a 3, and a 2 situation. So once we have a break of that 2 situation, so we are in this wave. So this one has ended. Then now we are going to see this also to see how we ended also this wave situation here. This particular one, this is 2 here, and we'll see the movement from here, which is from that 2 to the first push up there, which is this, and we take it down. So we see that from that 2 to the first part of it, of this 3, and we ended 3 here, and we broke out of 3, means that we have ended this particular wave. Now, what of the correction here, which is this one now? Have we ended the correction or not? So that is where we are at the moment. So, and the only thing we can do is to join this and this together to see if we have ended that correction or not. So when we come here and we blow and we try to clone that way, so we have ended that correction for sure. Now we have ended this correction for sure. So this is what we have ended this correction for sure. You can see. Let me try and help you. So the 4 hour is where we can pitch our tent really. Anything more than that, 1 hour will be like a shout. So you can see from here to this low here, from this and to this low here. Clearly we are out of it. So we are doing this one. So this one that is coming now, which the time we say on the 4 hour we are out of it, is when we are completely also out of here. So when we are completely out of here, we should see a sharp break to the upside. So when we are completely out of here, that is when we say we are done correcting this and we are pushing up. This one went up in a very funny fashion and broke the hair. Can you see? This is the 2 here, and you can look at the 4. The 4 even went above breaking this. Is an early sign that we are changing direction. You can see it's an early sign that we are changing our direction. So the momentum to the downside is lost. So even if we are selling now, we are selling to pick the low and to enter to buy. That is what I can see. We are trying to pick the low to enter to buy. So that's our selling. But then again, the movement to the downside, for that to hit this, that variance can take 200, 300 pips. That's just the thing. It can take 200, 300 pips. If you have witnessed, even from here to here itself, from this low of this one here to this place, how many pips? That is about 50 pips in that place. Where did we pick another one before? I think we saw, yeah, another one was here, this place, yes, from here. So let's see that. Okay. Let me come here. Yeah. From here, which is the low. Yeah, that is the low at this level. This is which coincide with that's the low. At that, yeah, at this level, that's the low. So this new low here for price, that is almost like 200 pips. So you can't be seeing things like that happening from time to time. You know, and where the divergences and all of that. Even if you pick this one here, which is the low, and the low at this level here, because that's one give us about 50 divergence. So you might be seeing like maybe between 100 and 200 pips to pick that divergence again. So obviously we know once we break this, then we are going up. Now, having said that, let me now take you to where we are presently. So that is out of the table. 1 hour, you don't want to, if you want to see 1 hour, 1 hour will be a bit messed up. 1 hour will be a bit of a mess. You don't want to go instead of 1 hour, it's going to be a bit of a mess. So let's see what 1 hour is going to give us. Let me try and expand this to see what 1 hour is going to do. I think this and this is enough for me because you don't want to push close to here. The first plateau and the first notch here is enough to connect that. And I think about right at the end of it. Let me just come close to it. Yeah, so it's good like that. So once we have a break, you know, immediate break will not do it, but we have to come back and see because price may be testing very close to here. By the time price is crossing this yellow on a 4 hour, you are out. That is what it's going to be like. By the time your price, which is this blue, is crossing this yellow, the RSI is crossing the price. This is the price now. No, this is the price down here. And so if the price blue is crossing the yellow or both yellow to the upside, then that is when you get out of your sell. So on the 4 hour. Let's look at 1 hour to see what that is giving us. Yeah. So now you can see that is why I said you cannot use 1 hour. Everything is getting close. Everything is getting close. Even though it's appearing that, oh, we're losing momentum. Yes, it appears that as if you are losing momentum, you know, at this area. This might be the lowest here. Can you see the lowest here that giving you something that looks like a 3-5 situation with a little divergence here, but it's early. It's going to be making noises here. It's going to be making noises here, so you don't want to fall for it. You don't want to fall for it. You could have fallen for it here also. When you saw this low and you saw this one, you could have fallen for it, and you know, it's 4 hour for me and no more. So we want to see 1 hour. When it crosses it at 1 hour, then you want to go and check your 4 hour. I think if you want to still fine tune this better, the way to fine tune this on 1 hour is this. If you take it to this level now, yes. If you take it to that level, that's the way to use 4 hours to fine tune it. Yeah, that's the way to use 4 hours to fine tune that level. But which means that we might have to be doing looking at this plate and these two and this particular one to draw it. I think let's just leave it at 4 hours. Let's leave it at 4 hours. So let's leave it at 4 hours. So it's going to just make noise. So we have to stick to counting weight now. That is what it is. So it's going to run 5 weeks. That is what we are saying. Now I'll be ending soon. Let me just go inside of the structure and try to end this training on that structure. Let's go inside of the structure first. Let me go to where I've marked. If anything I've proven to you is that this is a correction, so that's what I've proven now, and rightfully so. Now this is where the fourth wave is. So the fourth wave is here. So we will be changing this. We'll be changing that later to go up as a place to break. So once we break this structure, once we break that, then we are out of the game. So that is what I'm trying to tell us. So where's that one again? So which means that one. So this is what we are going to be seeing now. It's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like that. So once we break that to the upside, we are done. So that is what we are going to be using. This is a 2 now. That is where our 2 is. So now going inside of 1 hour. So this is the correction. It's a correction of 4. So now know that we are seeing one of the earliest sign of a change of direction. So breaking this with the downside, it has ended this correction. So we are inside of the last wave that we can get. Okay, we are inside of the last wave that we can get. So inside of 1 hour, we are going to be seeing more down. That's what I'm saying. This thing is going to be seeing more down. So what we are saying is that, to me, for now, on this lower time frame, if I go inside of a 15 minutes time frame, so this is very close to where we should see the movement to the upside. But at this level, we must be ready. This is the 1 of this structure, 1 of 1, a 2 of 1, and probably maybe a 3 and a 4 of 1 at this level, and we might be finishing a 1 of 5 of 1 here. So let me pick the RSI to see. Let me pick the RSI to see inside of here. Now, this is what I said, like the 3. No, this was like I said, like a 3, which is not bad. This is like a 3. You can see the way price at done here inside of this structure. If we look at the 1 here, give us a more sharp view. It's low instead of 1 here. That is a divergence from 1, but it doesn't stop the price from going lower down in real time. So on the RSI of 1, so we can see that divergence already, that this thing is burning out, okay? And burning out does not mean that they are going to change direction and break the top, no. So you must get that, because the wave had to, do itself, it's speeding. So this is 1, you can see how low it is on the RSI, and what we call our 3, by the time it's we are finishing inside of this first wave. That is what I can see here. We are finishing inside of this first wave. That is what I can see. So, and if anything, so okay, let me come back there. So this is like a 3 here, which is a low, and we are doing like a 5. So I think we might just come a bit down here. Once we touch here, even from here itself, we have finished a 5 of this particular wave. So, and that would be where with one, we'll be finishing now. This is where I might need to change this to a 105. So this is where a 105 will be finishing. So this now will just be a 105. That 105 should be finishing around here. So when that happens, we should be doing a pullback to finish a 2. So if you're going to finish a 2, because it's of 1, then if this level holds, this is where that 1 starts from. You should be seeing an ABC correction to the upside if you get a reaction from this level. So this is the level. This has been broken. I don't need this anymore. So this is the level that I'm proposing that we should be seeing some reaction. So once we see reaction at this level, then we should be coming up to this area, which is at this level, for a wave 2 of it. For a wave 2 of it, for a wave 2 in yellow. So this 61 or this at 76. So in between here, we should be turning lower. In between that space, we should be turning lower. And which means that our turning lower will be in between here. So we should be turning lower in between here. So far, we don't break this level. So far, we don't break this level, which is this level. So far, we don't break above this level of 99,590. We should be turning lower. So that is what it's going to be if you want to trade this. So we should be looking for reactions around this area once we get it. So once we get, we need that reaction first before we charge our cost. And you know, some of us entered at 98,200, which is still very close to this level around here. So, but I want us to see reaction because price may pull lower. Price may pull lower. So price may pull lower. We should see reaction. So any more upside for us is an opportunity to still get a decent one to sell further. And but when you are selling at this level also, it's a very small risk. Very small risk. We are just trying to follow price to now gain an entry for the upsurge. Of course, that will be breaking if price turns up to do to it will be breaking this trend. That is the meaning. It's going to break this trend just to finish the wave 2, then we should be coming to the downside. That is what I can see here now. So we are going to wait for price to do all of that. And where we are trying to count, this looks like a decent count for price. And so that's what I can see for now. So we should be turning, if price will come up to here, the reaction here will enable us to get where price is going to probably come up to on the one that reaction. So I think this is almost pointing out for. And so one would think that we're now going to be seeing a wave 3 that is most likely going to be coming very close to here or break this structure to the downside, then we have a sharp 4, a 4. So once we end with 3 in itself of this 5 and it's coming down. Once we end with 3, then it tells us that's it at the level that you don't want to sell anymore. You don't want to sell anymore. So price for me is going to push up to do a wave 2 and to do a wave 3, to do a wave 4, which might be completed at 5. So at that with four, we can try to put in small lot size to buy, expecting that price is going to still push a bit lower until we get a. That is what it is at this moment. If you have any questions, you can always send that to me. So this will be the upper limit of price for now. The upper limit. Do the alert later. So that ends it for now. Thank you. Watch the video. Please ask me questions if you have any. But for now, this is how everything stays.